Welcome, filmmakers, fans, and friends to Indie Cinema Showcase. I'm your host, John Theisen, and each episode, my cinephile friend Tim Anderson and I will be here to bring you the best and brightest in local independent cinema.
Each show will kick things off with a short film that was created by a Florida filmmaker, and then John and I will offer some of our insights on the production in our Thoughts from the Popcorn Gallery segment. Later on, we'll also show the feature filmmakers some love too by running a trailer for a feature-length production that was also shot in the area.
Now, after we show you our shorts, we'll welcome on an industry guest, be that a writer, director, actor, special effects artist, whomever. We'll bring them onto the show to discuss what's going on in today's fast-paced world of independent cinema.
And finally, we'll wrap things up by answering some of your internet inquiries about the who's, what's, whens, where's, whys, and how's of making your own micro-budget masterpieces.
All right, let's get things rolling with a film that is perfect tie into our focus today, being special effects work. This is a unique horror short film about a little girl with a dark secret. The film is entitled Mina, and it was written and directed by local alumni Jose Cassella.
The attack is short and powerful. They attempt to catch the victim with a fast rush and final leap. The prey usually is killed by strangulation. Lionesses are powerful animals, usually hunt in groups and stalk. They can reach speeds of 59 kilometers per hour. Because lionesses hunt in open spaces where they are easily seen by their prey, cooperative hunting...
You okay, baby?
No.
My stomach hurts.
It's probably dinner last night. I told you to eat slowly.
But I was hungry, Mom. I couldn't help it.
Well, it's probably the meat. It was too tough, huh? Tell you what. Tonight we'll have a great dinner. I promise.
I'm still hungry, Mom. Very hungry.
You must control yourself at school, Mina. Do you understand? Are you listening? Here's a little something if you can't wait. But eat it slowly, okay? And don't let others see you.
There's a cookie sale walk at school today.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Can I go?
Sure. But behave, okay?
Lions also attack domestic livestock. They're capable of killing.
Have a package. It says here, Victor Frank.
That would be my husband.
Great. Can you sign here, please?
Uh-huh. Boy, it's a hot day outside today.
Sure is.
So, why don't you come and get a glass of iced tea?
I would love to. It sounds nice, but there's a lot of work to do.
Come on, just a few minutes. I don't bite.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm just a little tired today, that's all. Yeah, I'm so tired of selling these stupid cookies. You know what my asshole brother did to me? Okay, first of all, in the morning, he threw a bowl of porridge at my head. Announced. Me in the mud, right in front of my crush and all of my best friends and everyone else in the school. Are you okay?
Huh? Yeah, I'm just not feeling really well today. I'll be okay though. I will.
Well, listen, why don't you go? I'll take care of this one. I'll meet you back at school, okay?
Hello, I'm selling these cookies for my school. Would you like to buy a box?
Yeah. How much are they?
$5.
Hey, shut up, honey! I think I got some cash. Come on inside for a sec.
Mina? Get down here right now!
Hello?
Mrs. Blackmore, I'm sorry to bring this up again, but Mina's run away from school again.
Listen, I'm really sorry. She's having some issues lately.
As you know, tomorrow the girls are having their annual picnic in the park. Everyone's really excited. The whole town is going to be there.
Listen, can I call you back?
I would love that blueberry pie. Oh, this looks wonderful. Honey. Wow. What's wrong? Don't like it?
I'm not hungry.
Mina, you know you get in trouble when you don't eat your food properly. Now finish.
Well, I think this is delicious.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome. I am assuming that the truck parked outside is the reason for this lovely dinner.
Oh, honey, remember to...
I know. I'll deal with it as soon as I'm done. Your mother told me what happened. I know it's hard sometimes, but We must be nice to others, Mina. We can't just do as we wish. There are rules. Do you understand, honey?
You do understand, don't you?
Once again, that was Mina, written and directed by Jose Cassella. Now, each show we like to give you our own thoughts from the popcorn gallery and offer feedback about the films that we showcase so we can give our audiences something to disagree with. So John, what did you think of Mina?
Well, Tim, let me start off by saying that, I'm not the biggest horror buff in the world.
What?
Well, I know that you are, but I'm not, but I'm putting it right out there.
We're going to throw down.
But I think the best thing about being a film critic is having to dispel the genre, looking past the genre in case you don't particularly care for it and looking at really what makes the film.
I agree with that.
And I think that Mina, for all the right reasons, did win me over. I think the acting was phenomenal, especially from the children. I don't think enough people realize how tough it is to get children actors to really pull through. Also, I thought the visual effects, Jose is known for his great visual effects, and I think he pulled it off in this film as well. And the special effects, which is what we're talking about today primarily, is special effects and makeup work. I think he sold me on that too. So regardless if I like gore or not, Mina was a great film, and I'm happy we showed it today.
I think that Mina is an interesting movie, and you're right. Jose is really known locally as a really phenomenal, really great cinematographer. So I always expect that when I see a project that comes from Jose Cassella that it's going to look good.
Sure.
And Haley Boyle, who stars as the character of Mina in the film, does a really, really good job as well. But since we're talking about effects work, let's talk about the effects work that's in the movie. It's a pretty gory movie. It's got a fair amount of blood and guts in it. But the effect that I really like the most in the film is the eyeball, which is a digital effects shot that kind of give the ladies and husband in the film this glowing eye effect, which kind of shows the demon or whatever that's inside of them. Because that's something else that I think that Jose did really well, is that the film it's a nice, simple short, and it tells a very kind of linear and basic story, and it doesn't feel the need to tell you everything about what's going on in the movie.
Sure. And the great thing about Jose is he is taking this film and he is trying to make it and convert it into a feature film, which I think more filmmakers should be doing. When they have a good short film, take it to that next level, use a product that they know is bankable.
Actually, I agree with that. Before we wrap this up, I think that filmmakers that are out there that want to shoot a feature film should consider the idea of shooting a short film that's a piece or a segment or a highlight of your own feature, and then going out there and using that to try to get financing.
Funding, yeah.
Because I have a lot of people that'll look at feature films and then say, do you have a feature that goes with this? And if you don't, then you're almost shooting yourself in the foot. So consider that.
Yeah, it becomes your calling card, but for sure. Well, to see more about the film you just saw, visit its website at minathemovie.com. When we come back from the break, we'll be talking with special effects makeup artist Ashli Szymanski about her new Orlando-based FX house, as well as the ins and out of some great gore gags. Stick around. Welcome back. Now, since on ICS we want to do more than just show indie films to our audiences, on this episode's Industry Insights segment, we're very excited to have with us special effects makeup artist Ashli Szymanski, the co-owner of CS Studios, which is a makeup studio and special effects lab here in Orlando, Florida. Thanks for being here with us, Ashli.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us, how did you get first into the special effects makeup world?
Well, I've always been a fan of horror movies. The gorier, the better. Even as a young child, my favorite movie of all time was Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Most kids watched Barney. I wanted to see blood and guts. Going up through high school, I was always the person to do everybody's makeup for dances, and then it moved into theater, and then even the local Rocky Horror Picture Show cast in Dayton, Ohio.
That's right. Where did you get your training?
A lot of stuff we self-taught just by watching tutorials online. Then we discovered gelatin, decided, hey, we want to move to Florida, pursue our makeup career, go to school. Actually, everybody in our studio are graduates from Joe Blasco Makeup Center right here in Orlando.
Okay.
After we graduated, we decided, we want to take our education a little further. We met up with makeup master Rick Gonzalez, did an internship with him, decided, hey, we can do this. So we opened our own studio.
So what are some of the recent, major projects you've worked on, and what kind of special effects are you providing for them?
Well, we just wrapped a feature film called Zellwood. That movie, we've done everything with bruises, abrasions. We did all of the full corrective beauty and glamour, all the way up to full actual prosthetic rigs. We worked on Crocdale, which is what this little guy's from, where we had to actually make several prosthetic pieces and sew them together to make a full Skin Man suit.
Let me ask you a question about that, actually, because that's something that I think that indie filmmakers should be interested in. People that are interested in how movies are put together and how they work is, how do you go about creating something like that?
Well, we actually had to bring the actors in. We had to cast their face, cast their neck, most of their torso. We had to cast 2 separate people to create this. Sew it together. It's all foam latex, painted individually for different skin tones just to give it a little more variety.
I think, especially looking at some of the things you brought with you today, people might be worried, oh my gosh, to hire somebody like you to do all this, it's a big financial investment. I mean, is that a rumor? Or, I mean, does good FX work cost a lot of money? Or what kind of budget should they be putting aside to bring you on?
We really pretty much can accommodate any budget. It's just a matter of working really closely with the entire crew. The lighting, find out how they're going to light it, work with the lighting technicians to know, where they're going to place the lights, what filters they're using. Get in really close with your DP. That's another really important factor, I think, because the way that it's going to be shot, you can get away with a lot more. We've done really simple, really cheap effects, but made them look really good just by working really close with everybody around us.
That's great. I think a lot of people, they should make up, what they don't have financially with more kind of creativity, being artistry, and kind of work around as best they can.
Well, let's talk about some of the really cool stuff that you brought in for us today, because you've got like weaponry and body parts, and I'm like a schoolboy. I'm like so giddy. I'm like,
well, if you want to, you can give me a hand,
cool.
and
That's
then we have some weapons. You said an axe, because when you're on set, especially if you have minors on set and they're swinging this crazy thing around, you have to use something.
Yeah, for those at home, that's
So that's not a real axe. So like if John bugs me, I can't like hit him in the head with it. It won't kill him.
No, it wouldn't kill him unless you hit him with the butt of the axe. That would kind of hurt. But
okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Which we just make these out of foam. It's just foam rubber and latex and some paint.
And the realism there is really amazing. And the screwdriver is actually one of the ones I want to point out because it looks like a real screwdriver.
Right.
Like
it does, but
but it's rubber.
Yet it's not.
Yeah.
And,
so you could stab him in the neck and it wouldn't kill him.
And this gag is from an actual film you just recently wrapped.
Both of these are from Zellwood. This was a weapon for one of the scenes, so we had to make it look like it went through a particular body part, so we just kind of make it in 2 separate pieces, gore it up, and she can run around and
It's like a
not hurt anybody with it.
Oh,
it's very cool.
Movie magic.
That's movie magic.
Well, we know that you recently opened up your own FX house in town. So what kind of services are you providing, and what can our audience, reach out to you for?
Well, we do everything from corrective beauty, straight makeups, all the way through fantasy, sci-fi, special effects, pretty much anything you need.
Okay, because it seems like we're highlighting, the horror dynamic
Yeah.
today, but you also do beauty, like you said,
Yeah.
just regular
Yeah.
straight makeup work and fantasy, if you want to do the...
Yeah, we brought the blood and guts out today, but creating, like sci-fi movies, for example,
Sure.
have massive amounts of visual effects work,
Sure.
set design done on them to create things that don't exist
with
in
aliens
reality.
or other things like that in fantasy. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Ashli. Everything you brought with it was very informative, and it was a great addition to the show. If you want to find out more information about Ashli and her studio, visit her website at csstudiosfx.com. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna let Ashli head back to the Body Factory and take a look at this episode's feature. This feature trailer comes from local filmmaker Jason Murphy, and it's entitled Zombies, Zombies, Zombies.
I create cures, vaccines, that sort of thing. My cure was a success. Almost too much of a success.
Can you answer one question for me? How could you let something like this get out onto the street?
My God.
Man, there goes another one. I could have made some good money tonight. Hard out here for a pimp.
If you'd like to know more about this feature film or where to purchase a copy, visit its website at zombieszombieszombies.com.
Now, since on ICS, we're not here just to show you all some fancy moving pictures and listen to ourselves talk. We're going to try to impart some wisdom with our Fun Facts segment, presented by greenroomorlando.com.
These facts are sent to us from the wild world of the internet. These episodes' question is from Ben. Dear ICS, I've been trying to make a bloody slasher film with some of my best friends, but I need a good recipe for fake blood and body parts. Any ideas? Well, Ben, earlier we talked about this with Ashli. There's so many things that you can find on the internet, the things that you can go to Google and search it out. But really, the general basic recipe for fake blood that you would want to put near a person or near a person's mouth, or, I guess you just throw it on them for fun. But is basically, I like to use a dark Karo syrup, which is a little bit different than what the general recipes use, which is just a liquid corn-based syrup. And then you want to put into your dark Karo syrup something like, 5 or 6 drops of red food coloring, and then keep adding until you get about the darkness you want. Remember, you want to go a little bit darker than you think normal blood looks like, because when you prick yourself and you bleed, it's bright. But blood that you cut out of people that splatters all over the floor in a horror movie should be dark and a little bit gross. And the last thing that you can add to it is either powdered milk or chocolate syrup. Just a little bit more to darken it up and kind of thicken it up a little bit.
Oh, that sounds tasty, Tim.
It's yummy. I mean, I've drank it.
Yeah, it sounds tasty.
If you want to be a part of our Fun Facts segment, you can submit your questions directly to ICS by visiting our link on greenroomorlando.com. If you ask us a question and we can't answer it, you know what? We'll Google it. So, anyway, now it's time for my favorite segment of the show, the films to see before you die.
Now, are you looking for something a bit off the beaten track to check out late at night? Each episode, Tim and I try to pick a few DVDs that may have slipped past your radar, but films that we think you absolutely need to feast your eyes on. So, Tim, what did you bring for us this episode?
Well, John, I know it's an FX episode, so I did want to bring a movie that had some kind of special effects relation to it, but you know that I'm a big proponent of trying to get people out there to see movies, old movies that they haven't seen that are affecting or influencing the current, trends in cinema. So the movie that I actually brought is Jean Cocteau's 1946 film, Beauty and the Beast. It's La Belle et la Bête, which is a French production of the classic Beauty and the Beast story. And what really makes the movie phenomenal is that Cocteau himself was an artist, who's poet, painter, he ran the gamut, a Renaissance man of his time. And the effects work that he designed in this film, candelabras that are held in the wall by human hands, that they move along with that, children's faces that look to be carved into fireplaces that are actually actors' painted faces, that can move along. Wow. Things that you can actually take and go right to Disney's version of Beauty and the Beast, right, or Jan de Bont's version of The Haunting that they did a few years ago with the faces and the thing. You can literally trace lines of watching this effects work happen. Sure. And kind of the beauty of this movie too is that because it's before digital effects, before all the things that you kind of see today, it really exists on a plane where those things were happening in camera at the time of filming. And I mean, on top of that, this is just like one of my top 20 favorite movies of all time.
Sure.
So.
Well, today I brought the original George Romero's Dawn of the Dead. This is the second in his Dead series of films. Yep. It's actually my favorite in the series. And as I said, multiple times in the episode, I'm not the hugest horror guy, but I do respect when you go back, you go a little old school and homaging. I love old zombie films. Yeah. One of the main reasons I like old zombie films is because the zombies move slow.
So you're not a proponent of the running zombies?
No, I get a little, I'm squeamish, I get a little scared, so some of the newer modern zombie films, or even some of George Romero's remakes, they move quick, they're coming at you. I like these because they're slow-moving zombies. They're almost friendly zombies. But this movie, obviously most of it takes place in a shopping mall. It has the, kind of world-renowned Buddhist zombie that everybody knows
Hare Krishna zombie.
Yeah, Hare Krishna zombie. So, for me, this is a great old-school zombie film, and this is where a lot of things started. If George Romero weren't making some of these films, it would have never kind of broken through with the millions and millions of zombie films they create every year. So obviously he's still making good work, and this is one of my favorite original George Romero films, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the movie. I think
definitely a film you need to see before you die.
For sure.
Well, that's all, folks. We want to thank all of you out there in TV land for joining us. We also want to thank Ashli Szymanski for dropping by to share her insights with us, as well as our segment sponsors.
We hope you learned something new, saw something you loved, or got inspired to get off your couch and go make a movie of your own. Maybe it'll even be good enough for us to show on the next Indie Cinema Showcase.
But until then, to all you current and upcoming filmmakers, we say, as we always do, peace, love, and positive reviews.